Regarding the workforce issue, I imagine you've been hearing this everywhere you go. If not, kind of maybe drastic measures to get more and more people vaccinated. What are some solutions that you're at least going to DC next week with? What are some ideas you've heard at least? Other than just giving it attention.
Well, I think first and foremost, when I look at Washington's policy making part of this discussion, we should stop paying people to stay home, number one. I did not vote to extend the enhanced unemployment benefits, but I know Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, representative from New York, is introducing legislation to extend those unemployment benefits. That is not the right direction to get people back to work, and I think it continues what I've heard, which is people are comfortable starting to resume work activities. The vaccine is readily available, and employers are hiring and are paying more. They're doing everything they can to be competitive, so we've seen that happen. But we need to stop paying people to stay home. There's just been this influx in cash, and I think people have changed their lifestyle as a result of that. And so, again, it's about making sure that access to childcare exists. That's number one, I think, on the policy side that we need to be actively and urgently addressing. That's why I've introduced legislation to actually gather data on overregulation of child centers, for example. How can we make it so that they don't have as many pieces of red tape that they have to jump to stay open, hindering their expansion and growth. So those are kind of some of the policy areas that we've started working on. I'm on the Jobs and Economy Task Force, and I'm chairing the 21st Century Jobs Initiative. So we're talking about how education components may play into reskilling people who maybe are looking for a different opportunity now coming out of the pandemic, because I think there's a lot of that too.
Sure. And there are pieces of that that are, like paid family leave or paid things like that. But I wonder if there might be more bipartisan interest in if it wasn't in such a big package. I mean, are there any pieces of that you would be comfortable with if they weren't necessarily?
Yeah. Well, there's support for community health centers in there, and that's an area, especially coming out of a public health crisis, that I absolutely support. But when you look at some of the things that are in there that are just non-starters for me, huge subsidies for electric vehicles, while at the same time to pay for that bill, the nonpartisan tax committee actually came out and said this will raise taxes on people making $30,000 or more a year, which I'm not comfortable in a time when we're seeing inflation and real labor wage growth hindered by that inflation. I don't think we need to be continuing the spending spigot. There is no, I guess you call it, stop on the price that could go to the community college aspect of that bill. They want free community college. It's taxpayer-funded community college, and there's no stop on the amount of dollars that would require. Not to mention the spending that this creates over the next decade. So those are some of the things that I think outweigh the benefits of having it included all in this big package, and we need to be, first of all, having a conversation about the $1 trillion that's still out there that hasn't been spent as of the end of July. Let's talk about that money. Can that money be used to do some of this instead of spending money we don't have on priorities we don't need right now?